Welcome back to 4 or 5 Sports. Today we are going to be talking about the NFL playoffs and the divisional round. I will kick it to Zach.
First off, we got the Baltimore Ravens opening up as a 9-point favorite at home against the Texans.
How do we feel about that call?
It's just a question of, can C.J. Stroud continue to do what he did last week?
Right.
Because obviously they played a great defense last week. They kind of did whatever they wanted to.
No, they did. Joe Flacco did allow 14 points.
Well, I know, but I just mean C.J. Stroud played a beautiful game against a secondary that hasn't allowed very many passing yards the majority of the season. And then they come and play a Ravens defense who's also, they're just as good, if not better than the team they played last week, defensively.
The rumor is that Mark Andrews is back this week.
Yeah.
Which he's good, but likely he's been pretty good too. So, it's an upgrade. But
yeah, I think Mark Andrews or not, it's going to be tough for the Texans to go into the Ravens and beat them. I just think the Ravens defense is too good. And then I think if it was at the Texans, it would be a different story. But with it being at the Ravens, the crowd gets behind you. And C.J. Stroud is still young. He's looked really good. But that doesn't mean he can't get rattled.
That is true. I agree with you on most of that. I said the same thing last week, though, and I was wrong. I feel like defense is they're just so good, and they've played so good all season. I know they have a couple injuries on defense, but I don't really know who's out and who's not. But if they can have just the majority of their defense in, the Ravens' offense has been really good too as of recent. So I feel like it's just a little too much for the Texans.
another contrast in styles, kind of like his little brother. The Ravens are probably going to try to sit on the ball and not go quick, and the Texans are going to air it out, go quick. So, I have the Ravens as my favorite to win the whole thing. So I think it'll be tough. But if they come out so they've been throwing deep balls to Nico Collins to start the game the last couple of games. If they hit one of those or hit one or two of those on the first couple of drives and get in a rhythm,
it could get scary.
It could get scary.
For sure.
Yeah. Especially because I think most of the people that are out for the Ravens are secondary players.
Yeah.
I don't quote me. I think Kyle Hamilton's questionable.
I think that was just because they'd clinched. I think he's fine. But he did get banged up in that last game.
Was it
Marlon Humphrey was banged up as well.
He's questionable. So, I think they're both playing. But if those
You'd imagine.
one of those happen to not be...
It's the playoffs. You'd imagine.
Yeah,
but
it could get a little sketchy. But, I think they're 9-point favorites for a reason. I feel like most people have them winning that game.
Texans are playing with house money. Weren't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Next one's 49ers. Packers. 49ers are also 9-point favorites at home.
Yeah. Very similar game as the last one, in my opinion. Jordan Love has been playing really good recently. He's still new to the whole playoff thing. Did look really good last week, but, 49ers, that's still going to be tough, regardless of how good Brock Purdy plays, in my opinion.
I'd say there's more of a home field advantage there than there is going to be in Baltimore, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like you said, I feel like it's very similar to the first game. Like, it's a young team versus a team that's got a lot of experience. And the 49ers team, you would assume, other than maybe quarterback, they're more talented on most positions offensively. And so, it's hard to pick the Packers, even though they played such a good game last week. It's just hard to take them and feel good about it.
Yeah. That Packers defense is good, though, so that does give them a chance. It's not like they have to score 40 to win.
If the Packers played like they did last week, it could be a really, really good game.
Yeah.
I disagree that the Packers defense is any good because their coordinator's awful. But I don't think the Packers are going to get as many busts like they did against the Cowboys defense, so that'll be tough. But I think they can score with anybody, so I just don't think they'll stop the 49ers handing the ball off and throwing bubble screens. So They'll probably keep it close, and then the 49ers will stretch it open, or the 49ers will come out hot and then run away with it.
I think it'll either be a blowout for the 49ers or the 49ers will win by 6 or 7.
We'll see if they do what one seeds are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, the first one is Bucks at the Lions. Lions are 6.5-point favorites.
Despite how well Baker Mayfield played last week, I think Dan Campbell has that dog in him. I think he's ready to go.
I also think the Eagles were a sinking ship,
Yeah.
and just about any team in the playoffs would have looked like that against the Eagles.
Yeah, they have not played up to par the last, I don't know how many weeks, but
Since he yelled at the Chiefs fans.
They started 10-1 and ended up 7 now.
Something bad.
I feel like this game has a chance to be the most entertaining game that there is all weekend. For me, at least, because I think both of these teams have a really good storyline behind them.
very fairly matched. Like it has
I
a very
feel
good
like-
chance to be a really good game.
I feel like it'll be a really good game. Because the Buccaneers have been playing a lot better than a lot of people thought they would. And, I mean, the Lions, it's just a cool story since, like, it was their first playoff win since
30 years.
Yeah, 95, I think. And then they get another home game because that game last week was incredible to watch. Like even though none of us are Lions fans, we all like the team to an extent.
Can't really hate them.
It's a hard team to root against, in my opinion. I know some people do, but I still think the Lions will come out with it because I feel like they're just a little better roster. Buccaneers got some holes in places.
I think the Lions will keep rolling.
Yeah.
I agree.
Finally, Bills Chiefs. Buffalo's 3-point favorite at home.
Colin, how do we feel as a Bills fan?
If we can play the way we played the first half of the Steelers game, I'll feel really good about it. Special teams was a little bit of a problem. We missed we got one field goal blocked, shanked another one. We're not going to be able to do that in this game. Because the Chiefs have started actually playing a little better. I feel like they played a really good last week against a Miami team that's really good. Both sides of their ball are really good. And Mahomes and Kelsey just turn it up in the playoffs to a level that it's hard to compete with them most of the time. It'll be the first time that the Bills have played the Chiefs at home, which I feel like will help a lot. Because playing in Arrowhead's really hard to do. I think we're going to win it, but it really is a toss-up for most people.
I definitely think this is the year that you guys beat them. Like you said, home advantage in the playoffs. Those Bills Mafia is going to be riled up. So I think if they just keep it clean, like you said, no special teams, mistakes, stuff like that, just turnovers. Just make sure to do that, and you should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Kirk Herbstreit it and go with the Chiefs.
Don't blame me.
I think since the Bills really have no linebackers right now, I think the Chiefs are just going to abuse the middle of the field with Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce until it gets fixed. And then, I mean, they don't really have much of a run game, but Pacheco could get it going. But, I mean, if the Bills get the run game going with Cook, they're hard to stop. But I'm going to take experience over the Bills.
And like you said, we have a lot of people out on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rasul Douglas may be back this week.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome if he was. But our number one corner, other than that, is Dane Jackson.
Because Rice was
He
cooking
stinks.
last week.
And we have, 4 linebackers out. So our third-round pick's the number one linebacker right now. It's A.J. Klein and Dorian Williams. Does that ring a bell? Probably not.
Yeah, but hey, AJ Klein has been stepping it up.
Yeah, no, they both played really good the second half of that Steelers game. But I just feel like they're going to, at some point, make some stupid mistake, and Kelsey's going to go for a 60-yard bomb because it's just bound to happen. But
The Chiefs are smart enough to target those guys.
yeah, target the young guys. And other than Dane Jackson, the corners are... Me personally, I don't like Kyrie Long. But that's a personal preference.
Big pick, though.
Yeah, well, he's also the only reason they got there because he gave up a 40-yard bomb and a PI.
It's true.
But
Made up for it.
I digress.
I'm going to take the experience. Andy Reid, Travis
Fully understand that.
Willie
the reasoning
Gay.
behind that.
It'll be close, like all the other battles between the Chiefs and the Bills. Maybe not as close as the 13-second drive to send it to
Yeah, you
overtime,
really just-
but
Make my blood boil.
I mean they lost last time because Kadarius Toney couldn't line up on sides. So
We shouldn't have beat them last time. I'll be honest with you.
Thank you for watching 405 Sports. This was our take on the divisional round.
Let us know who you guys think is going to win.